You are listening to Unstoppable Actors, the essential podcast for ambitious, unknown actors with me, Louise, the artistic director of Standby Method Acting Studio. And for the last 13 years, I've been taking unknown actors with blank CVs all the way to Netflix dramas, Amazon Prime films, TV soaps and stage plays around the world. And every week I'll be talking with you and sharing how you can become a paid working unstoppable actor, because you 1000% can. An acting career is doable. Are you ready to dive into the episode? Hello, welcome back to the podcast. If you are a regular listener, absolutely love having you here. And I can't wait to share with you all the goodness of today's episode. And if you've just stumbled across us on Spotify, welcome. I'm so glad you found us. It is so good to have you here. I'm hoping this is going to be the first of many episodes that you'll tune into. I know so many of you stumble across us and then have a big binge listen. And honestly, it really makes me smile when I read messages like that, because I know I'm recording these episodes for, firstly, because I get to put a name and a face together to some of the many, many listeners. We're well over 30,000 downloads, so if you do enjoy the episodes, please do share them with your acting networks, because we really, really, really need more unknown actors like you and your acting friends accessing the amazingness of method acting and getting cast. We need more unknown actors in paying roles, because you guys who are listening, I know you've got big ambitions. And I know you've got lots of things you want to do with your acting career. And one of them is you want to inspire your audiences, just like I do. So the more you share this podcast, the more we can get more unknown actors into those paying roles and achieving those things like inspiring their audiences and inspiring other people to pursue an acting career as well. So we're talking today about 2 ways you can get remembered by casting directors. One of the ways you might not be expecting, and you might go, okay. And then the other way, you'll be like, oh yeah, makes sense. I know this. So for some of you, if you've been acting for a while, it's going to be a good reminder. It's always good to hear lessons multiple times, because it means they embed deeper. And if you're quite new to acting, all of this might be quite new. Now, one of the things you've got to do to impress casting directors and get remembered by them is you have got to have absolutely insane talent. I say this on many of the episodes, but right now, whatever level you're at, whether you've recently just started getting into acting, you're just starting to figure out the industry and learn about it, you're a jobbing actor, you've got an agent, you don't have an agent, you're in spotlight, SAG-AFTRA, or you're not, you're working your way up to them. It doesn't matter what level you're at, you are unknown. You don't have the profile of these big actors like your Tom Hardys, your Viola Davises, whoever it is that's mega successful in a commercial sense. Ryan Gosling, Margot Robbie, these types of actors, you literally don't have their profile. So the only thing you've got right now is your insane passion for acting. Don't ever lose that. You've got your work ethic. Hopefully it's a good one. Don't ever lose that. And you've got to have talent. They're the only things right now that will make you stand out. So one of the things you absolutely need to be doing is getting yourself armed up with the best method acting exercises in the industry. So when you get presented with opportunities to be in a room with that casting director that can make or break your acting career, you are absolutely smashing it out of the park, and they remember you because they go, wow, this person is incredibly talented. I've got to get them in this project. And one of the ways that you can do that is with the 5-day method acting challenge. This is such an amazing opportunity for you. We've got 5 days of method acting exercises, short, sharp, quick fire, rapid exercises that take no longer than 20 to 30 minutes per day to do. 5 opportunities for talent acceleration. 5 lots of helpful, constructive pieces of feedback. So I'll give you feedback after every single challenge. And a challenge that's obviously going to help you impress the casting directors who you've got on your hit list. It starts 23rd of October. We end on the 27th of October. You can be from anywhere in the world to take part. I highly recommend you do this, because this is going to springboard your acting career. So that link is underneath the episode. Go and click it. and get a place inside the 5-day method acting challenge, because this is definitely something you can shout about to casting directors. Even if none of them know who you are right now, you could send those emails out, letting them know you've just done this or you're about to do this. And that gives you a reason to write to them. So as I said, the link is underneath the actual episode itself. Once you've listened, go and join. So I know you want to get closer to that breakthrough role, that one that's going to have you leaving your 9-to-5 job and saying to your boss, it's been great, but I'm out of here. Thank you. And I know you want to be sauntering off to a set, because how exciting would that be? And so if you want these things to happen and you want to get paid to act, it is absolutely crucial that you get acquainted with what I'm about to share. Because as I've already mentioned, casting directors have the power to give unknown actors that elusive breakthrough role or not. And there are literally only 2 ways that you can get remembered by casting directors, and I really need you to choose wisely. When you hear them, I think you're going to go, oh, well, it's a no-brainer which one I'm going to choose. However, there are lots of actors who, even though they know what they should be doing, they do the other thing. So I'm going to not keep you in suspense for very much longer. So this is the first way you can get remembered by a casting director, and that is show up late, be really scatty and unorganised and unfocused, be difficult, talk far too much because you're not listening, because inside there's a chaotic whirlwind going off, take far too long to start the audition, give a chaotic, hammy performance, and finally, favour the lines sounding natural rather than creating a unique character with its own unique quirks and mannerisms. So that is the very first way you can get remembered by a casting director. Or you could be the actor they remember for good reasons and instead do the following. And that's arrive early, do thorough character preparation beyond knowing the emotions and lines, because that's what a lot of new and unknown actors default into. Or I've just got to play a big emotion, that's what they think, or just got to make the lines sound natural. No, do thorough character preparation. Arrive relaxed and trust that the character prep will emerge at the right time. Smile, make eye contact, listen, be amiable without kissing arse. Yes, there are lots of actors who do that, believe it or not, and it is so obvious. Make sure the character has a point of view in the scene and has got quirks other actors are not expressing. You need to know the lines inside out without having to run over them anxiously, and take direction well. That's your second list. That is the second way to get remembered by casting directors. So which one are you going to choose? Are you going to choose the first list or the second list? You have autonomy, so it's completely down to you. You might be thinking, but why would I even choose things off the first list? Like showing up late, being scatty and unorganised, being unfocused, being difficult, talking far too much, taking too long to start the audition. One thing I've actually not shared that should be on that list, the sort of negative list, is talking about the character in terms of the story. You don't need to tell the casting director what the story is. Please trust and believe that they already know it. So let's go through that second list then, where you're going to get remembered for the good reasons. Let's pick it apart. Arriving early is good for both you and the casting director. It's good for you because it gives you time to compose yourself, to feel in control of the situation, and to relax. It's good for the casting director because they're not only judging you on your talent, but they're judging you on absolutely everything. So if you hustle and bustle through the door 10 minutes late, you've not made a good impression. However, if you arrive 10 minutes early, already that's a tick, because this is someone who can arrive to set early. So casting directors are not just going to think in the here and now, they're thinking about the production as well. Because what you have to remember is that their reputation and their career is on the line too. So they're going to take a chance on an unknown actor who's also not going to mess up their career, because they have to pitch for the jobs that they get if they're not working for an office. So if they're a freelance casting director, they have to pitch for the jobs. Now, even if they do work in an office, let's say they've got their own business, and I can think of some casting directors off the top of my head in the UK, they have worked their arses off to get the reputation that they've got. And they have had to pitch. They've had to really pitch hard and build trust with agents and build trust with production companies. So they're not going to take a chance on an unknown actor who is fucking things up, because it messes things up for them as well. Second on the list is do thorough character preparation beyond knowing the emotion and the lines. Thorough character preparation means you bring an actual human off the page. A human who is more than just a set of lines that they say by rote, more than just a big emotion in a scene. It's a human who's got a purpose in a scene. Really, really important. Even if you get it completely off the mark and the casting director thinks, wow, they've interpreted this completely differently to what we saw, and it's not quite what the production wants, even though you've done that, they can see that you've made a choice and they will redirect you. So you've got to do thorough character preparation. Number 3 on the list was arrive relaxed and trust the character prep will emerge at the right time. When you're doing your character preparation, it's been absorbed by your unconscious mind. Your unconscious mind is the part that you are not aware of, but it drives behaviour. You can only access your unconscious mind when you are relaxed. So arriving early allows you to get relaxed. Whereas if you turn up late, there's absolutely no time because you're in a rush with everything. When you're relaxed and you stop thinking about the character prep and trying to get the character prep into the scene and just allow it to emerge organically, it will, and you will do what you hear being spoken about a lot probably, which is work moment to moment and find new moments that are truthful. Number 4 on the list is smile, make eye contact and listen. Smiling is so important because it brings people's barriers down. It shows that you're friendly. Making eye contact is important because there's neuroscience behind how when we make eye contact, we start to release oxytocin for ourselves and in the other person as well. Oxytocin is the happy hormone, really important. So everything that I share with you is not just about acting itself as in the craft. That's very, very important. Of course, I'm going to share lots about that. But it's also about how we communicate non-verbally as well. Very, very important because that sets the tone for who you are as an actor. People don't want to work with arseholes. They don't want to cast difficult people. They want to cast people who make them feel good. And there is a saying, which is it's not what you say to people, it's how you make them feel. I always enter every single audition with an intention away from the performance itself. And that's about me and my brand. And when it comes to me and my brand and my intention as I'm going into the audition and leaving it, it's always to leave everywhere I go better than when I found it. So what I mean by that is if I smile and I'm friendly and I listen, I make good conversation, as and when is appropriate without over talking and without taking up too much time, hopefully I've made that 15 minutes for my audition a better place than it was before I came in. I hope this is making sense. It's really, really important that you remember it's how you make people feel. That's the most important, not what you say. Number 5 on the list was be amiable without kissing arse. You don't need to suck up to anybody. If you know you've got a habit of doing that, just start to become aware of it and let go. Because arse kissers come across as desperate and nobody wants to work with someone like that because the thought process, I mean, I can't speak for individual casting directors, I'm just speaking generally here, but if you think about someone who's been kissing arse with you, it feels a little bit needy and a bit clingy, doesn't it? It feels inauthentic and we can pick up on that on an unconscious level and we just don't like it. So if you know you've experienced someone doing it to you and you don't like it, don't do it to others because that feeling that you've had when it's been done to you is more than likely going to be the feeling a casting director will have and it just doesn't leave a good impression with them. Number 6 was make sure the character has a point of view in the scene and that they've got quirks that other actors aren't expressing. A point of view means they stand for something, which will stop you regurgitating lines out in a pattern. Making sure they've got quirks that other actors aren't expressing comes down to your character preparation. You've got to do something different to stand out. That's what's going to get you remembered because casting directors will be thinking, wow, this person's insanely talented. And maybe you won't be right for the role that you've come in for, as in maybe there's another actor who's got a bit of a higher profile than you and it, business side kicks in and it goes to them. That doesn't mean you're not going to get remembered for other roles. You've got to be thinking about the reputation that you are building for yourself beyond just hearing a yes or a no from that audition. So if your character's got a point of view in the scene and they've got quirks that others aren't expressing, you're already setting yourself up favourably with that casting director. Number 7 was know the lines inside out without having to run over them anxiously before the scene starts, because when you do that, you're not present in the scene. And then you can't make these bold character choices. What you do is you shrink inside and you give a tense and anxious performance. And trust me, that reads. And that tension and that anxiety is felt. And instead of being engaged and engrossed in your performance, people just feel sorry for you. It's like, oh gosh, what can I do to make this person feel relaxed? We don't want that. So know the lines inside out. And then number 8 is take direction well. Don't get funny if you're given something completely different to do and it goes against the choices that you made. It doesn't mean anything. There could be a number of reasons why you've been redirected. It could be that maybe you were not quite hitting the mark, but they think there's potential and they want to see if they can get that out of you. Maybe you did hit the mark, but they want to see, can you actually take direction? Because remember, it's not just about the audition. It's about thinking, is this person going to be easy to work with as well? Are they talented and are they easy to work with? What you've got to think about the bigger picture. Productions cost money. If we've got an actor who's insanely talented, but they can't take direction, there's a good chance they're going to be difficult to work with on set, and that is going to cost the production more money. And the producer doesn't want that. So everything has to be on a strong foundation of your talent. You've got to be insanely talented, but it's also how you communicate, how you show up, how you interact as you yourself as well. So let's go back to the character prep then, because this is what you're going to want to know really. The exercises that you need are relaxation, and you should be practicing this daily because these keep the nerves at bay. You need the CSI script analysis to be able to pull out all of the character clues and all of the character quirks that other actors are missing. And you need to be able to practice the art of evoking genuine, not hammy emotion. Because what happens when you use these 3 exercises that I've just shared with you, and the art of practicing genuine emotion could be a number of exercises. It could be substitution, personalization. It could be I'm a person who. It could be effective memory. But when you're using these, casting directors, are actually going to smile when they remember you, rather than thinking, oh my God, it's that person who I never ever want to step foot in my office ever again. I never want them to audition again. So if you want to get your hands on those exercises, we are going to be diving into them in the 5-day method acting challenge. This is a really exciting opportunity for you to up-level your talent. Inside the 5-day method acting challenge, we are going to learn how to melt the nerves so they disappear and you're cool, calm, collected, and coming across as a true pro, even if you've only just recently started acting. I'm going to show you these exercises, the CSI script analysis, and some more character exercises so the character oozes out of every pore, and the casting director is literally baffled because you've effortlessly transitioned right in front of their very eyes from you, the actor, into the character. And I'm also going to show you how to find pure, raw emotion that hits the casting director like a bolt of lightning. And you're going to get feedback, helpful feedback after every single challenge. The challenges literally take like 20 to 30 minutes per day. When you immerse yourself in these challenges, you will become a magnetic actor, one that people get engrossed in their performances, in your performances, sorry. One thing you should know about the 5-day method acting challenge is it hasn't been ran since August 2021. It's not something that is run regularly, yet it is essential training. So if you don't want to be held hostage by procrastination, doubts about your talent, wondering whether you're good enough, get inside the method acting challenge, click the link underneath the episode, and I'm ready and waiting to coach you on the 23rd of October. Now, I hope this has been an insightful and invaluable episode for you. I hope you are feeling very inspired and ready to rock and roll with your acting career. I also hope to see you in the next episode as well. I've absolutely loved hanging out with you, and I really hope you found this episode inspiring. If you have, please do rate the podcast and hit follow so you never miss an episode, and I can help more actors like you. And come and join one of the most supportive, uplifting acting communities on socials, the Unstoppable Actors Facebook group, where you'll get your weekly injection of inspiration, networking, and receive your free Method Actors handbook so you can become an unstoppable actor.